Presets and history. I've heard a lot of people complaining that they don't even understand how those work, so I'm going to quickly go over some of the features here. You get two sets of presets here, two lists. The one shows you the left image. Basically, this is the top one is the last rendering that I just did. And on the right column, currently it's set to current. That means it's comparing to the settings that are currently active in the user interface. So this allows me to go around and see what is the difference between all the settings, between something that I just rendered before and what my current settings are. And the useful thing is, for example, the iterative button used to be turned on, and right now it's turned off. And if I double click this option, it's going to actually enable that button. I'm going to put this one on the right side so I can see it, and then we'll go to history. So history is now open. I can go here and take a look at the settings, and here it says, for example, okay, when this was rendered, it used to be false, but now it's true. I double click it and it disables it. I go here and look, saving particles, the root used to be seed temp and now is nothing. If I would take a look at that and double click, it's going to set it up. Let me just go here, save particles. I'll open this one here on the site also, and take a look again at the history. So if I double click this option, it's going to populate the path, so it matches exactly what was active at the time when that image or this test was rendered. In other words, it is possible to first see what the difference is between two setups, either the current one or actually two different renderings. You can look at the two images, for example, select two images and try to figure out what is the difference between the two. The other thing that you can do is it actually saves information about what frame was rendered. For example, the right image was rendered on frame 35, but the left one was rendered on frame 0. If I double click this line, it's going to jump to the frame on which that was rendered. If I double click 35, it goes back to 35. If I go here, for example, and switch to front view, which is not the view that was rendered when this image was active, I can go here and say, for example, I want to set my viewport to exactly the same transformation matrix that was active at the time when this was rendered. Or I want, right now it's a perspective, but if I double click camera, it's going to set the scene camera that matches that name. So it's actually possible, based on the preset that was saved, it's the history record that was set at the time of rendering, to actually revert to most of those settings that led to exactly that look. Not only the render settings, but actually viewport, camera position, frame, and so on. In addition, it gives you a little bit of information. What was the difference in the rendering time? The one took, for example, about 1 second, the other one took 6 seconds, and it shows you the difference as factor and as seconds in both lines, and it's very easy to see. If you tweak a setting, does it make things faster? Just comparing two consecutive images. There are kind of neat features here. You can show strips of all the images that were ever rendered on this computer. So I can go back. This is saving when it has a cross on top. And you can go and just browse and restore images. You can right-click and see the actual image that was saved at that point. Or you can left-click and set the settings for the corresponding column, and we have a right strip with the same features, so I can navigate visually instead of using the drop-down list.